Canada Fund for Local Initiatives provides support for small scale but high impact projects undertaken by local non-governmental organizations such as Northgate Youth and Family Development Foundation. And these projects should align with the Government of Canada's international assistance priorities. Her Excellency Emina Tudakovic, High Commissioner of Canada to Jamaica then, yes, is very familiar with the Push Start project. And I'm sure she is very delighted to see the responses that we have presented here. She probably, well, she'll come and tell us whether or not she thinks it was a very good selection for CFLI to be a part of. Let us invite High Commissioner, Her Excellency, to bring remarks.
I'm not very loud without a microphone. So let me start by thanking, first of all, Mrs. Marsha Johnson-Campbell. You've been an amazing moderator. And also, I have to thank the IT support because you guys have been great. I've been at many, many things, and there's been way worse things happen, and people have freaked out, even for minor things. You've been excellent. So thank you as well to the Honorable Norma Walters, the Custos, Honorable Marcia Smith, Dr. Ransford Davidson from the Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Frederick Young, the banker. I won't put you on the spot too much later though, but, and also of course, I realize Inspector Faulkner left, but to his members of his team who are here. Of course, Teresa Gaynor for the project manager, and Mr. Wesley Boynes, the chairman as well. I'm always a little bit all over the place when I do my remarks because you've covered a lot of things that came to mind, so I wanted to address them. Let's start with, you did an amazing job. I'm super impressed. You're super organized. You've really presented what you've done, and it's like you hit every single thing that we wanted out of this project. So congratulations and well done. So women and girls empowerment is a key tenet of Canada's foreign policy. We have a feminist international assistance program. So this project again hits a lot of notes. We're really keen on mitigating the negative effects of COVID-19 on businesses, which were really well described. It's been really, really tough, especially for small businesses. So I won't go into kind of the bread and butter stuff, but again, this is a priority for us. The gender-based violence is, again, this is really, really important for Canada. As I said, we have a feminist international assistance policy. We believe really importantly that gender equality is the basis of a just society. You know, and I have to say, I think both the Custos and we were talking about the banking, so I don't want to put you on the spot. But certainly in Canada, there is gender issues in banking. You know, I remember when my husband and I went to get a mortgage, and I was the one with the full-time job at the time. He was a student, and they're like, "Does he work?" And I'm like, "Do we qualify my salary?" And they said, "Yes." And I'm like, "Does it matter?" And it did matter. We went to a different bank. So if even 15 years ago, and by the way, we paid off that mortgage, it was fine. But I think it's those gendered microaggressions, you know, where there's the little things, and you talked about gender-based violence, where it doesn't start with someone smacking someone around. We all know that it starts with words, it starts with feelings, it starts with sort of the hidden things. And I've had this in a hotel, actually, I won't name the hotel in Ocho Rios, where they had trouble with the reservation because it was in my name. And they insisted the whole time, they're like, "Why didn't you use your husband's name?" And I was like, "Well, I made the reservation, I booked it, and it's on my credit card." And literally the whole time, just to be awful, we signed everything in my name. So even my husband, he's like, "I'm gonna mess it all up." But, you know, and of course, my husband thought it was hilarious that I was talking about gendered microaggressions. But I'm like, look, if this is how you treat the High Commissioner of Canada, making me feel kind of small at the reception desk, how do you feel if you don't have the power I do at this place? So that's what it starts. So I think that's really important to think about that. It's about your day-to-day actions, about those little microaggressions and how important those are. So you talked a lot. I've heard that phrase from the Governor General, but there's nothing wrong with Jamaica that can't be fixed by Jamaicans. And I'm reflecting that in 2 weeks, I will have a year here that I've presented my credentials. And I'm always impressed. One, you all speak exceptionally well. And I always feel like I have to step up. But also just the energy, like when you put your minds to it as a country, you're amazing. Like, I wonder what, if you're Jamaican and you don't like sing amazingly or have a talent, like, how do you feel? But then I've never met one that didn't in some way. So, and it's that creativity and hustle, especially for the small businesses. Everybody I've met in Jamaica does something else, and it's amazing because they do it because they're resilient, and you do it because that's what it takes to get ahead here. So the business climate, I really appreciated the research on that, because I think that's really important, because there are clearly some barriers, and some of them is a lack of information. Some of them are structural. And not, again, to put the banker in the spot, but I think and you've certainly shown willingness, but sometimes you have to be creative with lending. And I think when people have a good business plan, sometimes you may need to take a chance on them when they don't have the collateral. That's my plug. I come from that, honestly, many years ago, about 20 years ago when I was in university. Myself and a few friends decided to start a small business. We started a small newspaper. We had no money, but most of all, you know what we lacked? We had no idea what we were doing, none whatsoever. We made all the mistakes. All we knew how to do, and I think one of your entrepreneurs said that, all we focused on, we all knew how to write. We all thought it was really important to get the message across, and we thought it was really fun to have a small business, but we had no idea about money. So I'm going to mention a few things that kind of wrap up a lot of what you've probably learned, but felt it was important to say again. This is an investment. So the government of Canada invested in you, and we thought it was worthwhile, and it is worthwhile. All the time that everybody spent on this project for you, this is an investment. So take it. You're worth it. You deserve it. And this is important. You are now community leaders. You can teach other people what you've learned. People talked about mentorship. Mentorship is a great thing to do. I was a mentor for the first time this year, and I actually probably learned more than my mentee. Just thinking about my work and my life, etc. I think because, as you mentioned, the buck stops here. When you're a small business owner, that is really, really important. It's a great privilege to have a business. It's actually amazing. No one else can tell you what to do. But that said, if something goes wrong, it's on you. So, but you're the leader. Take that confidence. Someone walks into your shop or your store, or your business, you're the person in charge. So take that space and don't be shy about it. Work hard. I think someone else talked about persistence. It is a lot of work to have a small business. Like I was going to say a crap ton. I don't think a crap ton. It's not a nice phrase, but it is so much work to have a small business. You will work super, super hard. And work hard. Take some risks. Take calculated risks. I have this song, Let's Talk About Numbers, now in my head, but I was like, so let's talk about numbers a bit. The really key thing about having a business plan is that you shouldn't be working for free, right? Pay yourself. Know how much your time is worth. My brother used to work in construction. He had a small business. It took him like 10 years to realize that he cannot run his own business. He was losing money every year. He does really well working for other people. But it took him like 10 years to put an Excel spreadsheet out and realize how much money he was not making. So the money is really important. So those assessments that you made, the 1,000 students, 100 JMD a day, do that for your business. Make sure you're making money so that you're paying your employees what they should be being paid. You're not losing money. I always like to mention you should enjoy yourselves. Do something you feel passionate about and are interested about. It makes a huge difference. Look, I mean, if I had sort of, married rich and young, I could be living a life of leisure somewhere. I'd probably be bored. But we all have to work, right? So we kind of have to work unless we're exceptionally lucky. So try and do something you enjoy. So I love the fact that a lot of your businesses seem to be passion projects because it makes it easier. You're not going to love every minute of it. No one loves every minute of it. But make sure you enjoy yourselves. And finally, really, the organization is so key, right? And I think a few people mentioned that. Have a business plan, be organized, be on time, manage your money, manage your resources. Don't have a messy workspace. It's an investment. So when you do things like go ask for a business loan because you're starting to make money, you should have a business plan. You should have receipts. You should know what's going on, because otherwise no one is going to want to invest in you further if you don't seem like you do. So that's me being preachy. But really what I wanted to say is just what a great pleasure it's been to work with you. What a great foundational piece of work you've done in the region. This is one of my favorite parts of Jamaica. But take what you've learned, and very, very well done. I think I can't congratulate you enough. You've done a great job, not just on this session, but certainly I think in putting things forward. So thank you again, and thank you for having me.